Now, my favorite brawler, Crow, he saw my 1v1 videos and he's like,
yo, Lex, man, let me get a piece of that. I got these fools.
So that's what he's going to do today. Crow 1v1 versus every single brawler in the game. Did he bite off more than he could chew or peck? Whatever crows do. Let's find out. Hey everyone, what's happening? Lex back today for another Brawl Stars video, and today we are going to take Crow 1v1 versus all of the brawlers. Now, I usually do this with the brand new brawlers that are coming into game, but I thought it would be useful information for you all to know the interactions between Crow and every single brawler and how he stacks up. So, on to the tests. We are ranking these brawlers from the worst performing against Crow to the very best. So, if Brawler A dies with 1,000 health left, then they're going to do better than Brawler B that dies and they only have 800 health left. So let's start off at the very bottom. Who does the very worst against Crow? Now with Rico, even though he does a ton of damage, his shot length takes a long time to unload all those shots, and Crow's damage is burst on demand on the spot, and because of that, Rico performs the worst against Crow in a toe-to-toe battle. Piper's interesting because we placed her as far back as we possibly could, with Crow's 3 daggers still hitting her. The further back she is, the more damage she does. However, even with that, she still loses. Of course, Jessie was actually a pretty close battle. They were both trying to get that last shot off. Crow was just a little bit faster. Now, Penny and Poco, they were both struggling for that last shot, and Crow, with his superior reload speed, was able to kill them before they got him. Colt, however, just does a ton of damage. He also has a very little health, and so that's why the damage difference between Colt and Crow was really close. Only 35 hit points left on Colt whenever Crow died. Now, in a real in-game scenario, if Colt was just missing just a tiny bit of health, then you'd be okay to get in there and get those shots in on him. However, if he was able to, poke at you some, you're going to have to wait, take your time, stay back, poke at a distance. And also, while we're right here, let me say, if you want to see some action of how you should probably be playing Colt, watch the gameplay that's been rolling here. This is me playing as Crow in Gym Grab, and you'll notice he is a support brawler. I'm staying back, I'm poking at people, waiting for my opportunity to jump in there if I need be, but most of the time, I'm just playing very passively, poking out there, keeping people poisoned, trying to support my team because, again, Crow is a support brawler, and you want to play him as such. Let's roll the next 3. All right, so both the throwers there, that was a really close match. Less than 100 hit points on both of them whenever Crow went down. Crow's actually a pretty good counter to the throwers because of his speed. He can dodge a lot of their shots. And then also, if he has his super, the brawlers like Barley and Dynamite, as well as the ones that he's already shown that he can beat, those are good brawlers to jump on because he can do so much damage up close. Plus his super damage landing, he easily takes out those throwers. So if you're playing Crow, look for those throwers to jump on and take out. Legendary versus legendary. Spike versus Crow. Sorry, Crow. Spike's going to win that one just because he has such massive amounts of burst damage. If you can stay back at a distance and really try to dodge those shots, maybe only catching one of the spikes from Spike's spike ball, is that what you call it? Whatever. And you have a pretty good shot at winning. However, up close, toe-to-toe, Spike is going to decimate you. Now, Nita was able to beat Crow mainly because she has so much health. Her reload speed isn't amazing. It's pretty good, but it doesn't do a ton of damage. However, Crow just doesn't have any health, and so once again, you're going to want to stay back and poke at Nita. Take your time with her. And Mortis is one of those assassins, right? And whenever Mortis sees Crow, that's just like, hey, here's a nice supper for you, Mortis. You just want to stay away from Mort. Just be cognizant of where he is, because he's going to be lurking in those shadows. He's going to be lurking in those bushes, waiting to jump out there and swipe you a few times, and you're done before you know what happened to you. Now, Leon just decimates Crow. As we've seen in the other 1v1 interactions, Leon does so much damage that he just burns through the health of almost any other enemy brawler. BB, on the other hand, well, no, she actually thrashed him as well. We didn't use her knockback. Wasn't even needed. She has so much damage, and she's a pretty tanky brawler. Not super tanky, but she's got some health. She's got some thickness to her, enough that Crow didn't stand a chance. However, the interesting one here is Carl. Now, Carl, we had a wall on the back of Crow, and of course that increases Carl's DPS dramatically. However, and I didn't show it, but Carl also beat Crow when there was no wall at Crow's back. He won and still had 700 hit points on Carl whenever Crow went down. So Carl wins either way. It's just much more convincingly whenever there is a wall at Crow's back. So now we're getting into the thickness. That's right, Pam, Shelly, and Rosa. All three of them absolutely dominate Crow up close. Again, this is one of those situations where you do not want to pick this fight up close. If you're in a bush and you see them coming, do not try to step out on their toes and try to burst them down. It is not going to work out well for you. In fact, don't even try to use your super into them. You might stand a chance if you land every single dagger, but even then, it's still probably not going to happen. They have too much health. They have too much damage. And if any of them have their supers, it's just going to be a bad time for you. So all three thick ladies completely dominate Crow. And now for the top four. The ones that absolutely dominate Crow in every way, shape, and form. Do not get close to these brawlers as Crow unless they have significantly lowered health. We're talking like half health. First up, we got the man in the barrel, Darryl. Yeah, not even close. 3,255 hit points left on Darryl when Crow went down. Just keep your distance. Stay back, poke, and do your job as Crow as a support brawler. It's not going to get any better for Crow from here on out. Again, the same advice holds true for all of the remaining brawlers. Do not go toe-to-toe with any of these unless they have significantly lower health. Whatever health that they died with in that interaction, like for instance Frank here, 4,130 hit points. He's going to have considerably less than that if you try to go toe-to-toe with him, and you have to have all your shots, and he can't have his stun. It's just going to be a bad time if you try to go toe-to-toe. So try to hold them back, keep their health low just by keeping those dots on them, the damage over time, the poisons. Keep their health low, wait for your teammates to respawn and help you out. And if you're in a battle like in Showdown, which Crow's great at Showdown, just, again, stay back, build up that super, bide your time, and wait for your moment to strike. Number 2 on the list is our favorite luchador, El Primo. With those big, huge fists pounding down on Crow's
cute little beak.
Was it a fair fight, Primo? Was it? No. No, it wasn't. How dare you hurt my best friend like that? That's okay. It's okay. Crow just doesn't do well against El Primo. Again, it takes a team, and in the showdown aspect, you're just going to have to stay away from El Primo until you can find your moment to strike, but he doesn't do well against El Primo. And there's one more brawler left that he even does worse against. Let's find out who. Bull is almost always at the very top of this list because Bull has tons of health. Bull does the most damage point blank in a short amount of time. Darryl does a ridiculous amount of damage too. However, in one shot, Bull does more damage than any other brawler. And in these sorts of tests, Bull reigns supreme. In this case is no exception because just a couple shots from Bull and Crow is hasta la vista, baby. So there you have it. Crow versus every single brawler in game. He actually only beat 5 brawlers straight up toe-to-toe. Came really close on a few more, and then the gap severely widened. So again, take some of those tips that I gave you earlier, and by watching some of this gameplay, and you'll get a better idea of how you're actually supposed to play Crow. But at least now you know the interactions of how Crow performs against every other brawler, so you'll know, should I jump out? Should I go toe-to-toe with this brawler, or should I stay back and keep my distance? It's almost always better to stay back and keep your distance as Crow. You just have to be super annoying and keep poking at them, but sometimes in a pinch, you have to go toe-to-toe if the game is on the line, and at least now you know which brawlers he can do that against and which ones he can't. So I hope you guys found this video useful. If you like this, please let me know in the comments down below, and I will do this for every other brawler if enough of you like this kind of video. If not, then I'll just keep doing it for the brand new brawlers that come out. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and as always, until next time, I'll catch you guys on the flip side. Peace out.